The upcoming Ironheart series will be giving us our newest villain in the MCU, the Hood. But who is this guy who at first glance just looks like a street thug with a red cloak and a pistol? But underneath all of that is a dark magical force tied to one of the most powerful entities we've ever seen in the MCU. Going back to his comic origins, Parker Robbins, better known as the Hood, was created by Brian K. Vaughan and Kyle Hotz and first appeared in The Hood issue number 1. Parker Robbins was just a regular guy from New York trying to scrape together a living to support his family who, unfortunately, dabbled in low-level criminal activity to get by. But when a routine warehouse robbery turns into an encounter with a mysterious demon, everything changes. During that warehouse robbery, Robbins came across a cloaked magical demon who Robbins ended up shooting. But Robbins didn't want to leave empty-handed, so he grabbed the demon's cloak and boots. It wasn't until later that night that Robbins learned that the boots gave him the ability to levitate and the cloak would turn him invisible if he held his breath. The only problem with all of this was that the demon he killed wasn't just any magical being. It's connected to that powerful mystical being I mentioned at the beginning of the video, who I'll talk about in just a short moment. Before we get to that, if you're getting value from this video, hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps the channel and lets me keep bringing you videos like this. Robbins, with these newfound abilities to levitate and turn invisible, decided to use them to his advantage, not to help people, but to actually better himself rise up in the criminal underworld of New York. He did this by recruiting a group of villains that included the likes of the Wrecking Crew and Madame Mask to build a crime empire. However, as he continued to utilize the cloak and his powers, the stronger his connection came to that powerful mystic being who is none other than Dormammu. Dormammu allowed Robbins to get more power through the cloak. However, the more that happened, the more corrupt Robbins became by Dormammu. Like always, the MCU character of the Hood is not going to be a one-to-one adaptation from the comics. For one, Ironheart is set in Chicago, which the Hood actually makes his way out there eventually in the comics under different circumstances that involves Ghost Rider, which is most likely not going to be any part of this show. But what we will most likely see is Parker Robbins, who is a somewhat likable character trying to get by but becomes corrupt by dark magic. Instead of being connected to Dormammu, we're hearing whispers that another dark force might take the stage: Mephisto. If true, that is massive, and considering that Mephisto was mentioned multiple times in Agatha all along, the dark magic threads in the MCU are getting more connected than ever. In fact, since Robbins does have a connection to dark magic, he could end up being a recurring villain given how the MCU is moving forward with magic, let alone dark magic right now. Plus, Doctor Doom is making his way to the MCU, who is no stranger to the dark arts. Ironheart is going to give us an interesting and classic Marvel face-off with dark magic through the Hood versus science and technology through Riri Williams as Ironheart. And if you want to learn more about Ironheart, make sure you check this video out right here.